All right, everybody. I have a real treat for you today. Singer-songwriter Catlea, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. First off, thank you so much for doing this. I know you're in the UK, so this is awesome. And do you drink coffee? Is that what you're drinking over there, or what are you drinking? I saw something.
I'm drinking wine currently because it's
Wine.
11:30 p.m.
Okay, okay. About to say, I'm like, I thought I saw some coffee, but about to say
Uh,
is like, are you a coffee person?
I am a coffee person. I love coffee. We
Yeah,
don't have any coffee in the house right now because we just moved
it's
in with this flat.
11:30,
So
so I hope yeah. All right, cool. What kind of wine? Was it red wine?
actually, it's very cheap. It's a barefoot pink Moscato, so it's the cheapest that you can get while still technically considering it wine.
Got it. So, all right, well, introduce yourself to those that are clueless and are live under a rock.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Because I looked at your YouTube and 20.9K subscribers.
Yeah,
So if people listening to this have not heard of you, they need to.
that's
And it's
very
their
kind of
fault
you.
because they're missing out. Um, so yeah, so the floor is yours. Introduce yourself. How long have you been performing?
Right, right. So yeah, first of all, I'm Catlea. I'm a musician. I'm a singer-songwriter, but that's not necessarily my genre. I have taken to calling it indie whatever because I just kind of make whatever the song calls for. But realistically, I make a lot of indie pop and indie rock music and some singer-songwriter. Um, and I've been doing this for several years now. I like to write out all of my feelings, put them onto paper, turn them into poetry, turn them into music. And as you said, I've had moderate success with it all of having, a handful of people looking at me. The eyes are giving me right now are like, what the hell are you talking about?
You're
Um,
being very generous. It's more
I,
than
I
moderately.
I've been told that I'm a bit too humble when it comes to my success, although I still feel the need. It's truly I'm very grateful for the success that I've had, and I'm only ever looking towards the stars to get higher up in the world. I just want people to hear more of my music so that more and more people can feel seen and understood if they relate to what I have to say. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's who I am,
Well, the
Catlea.
fact that the fact that you're up so late for a podcast um
Oh,
is
11:30 is
says
nothing.
enough, says enough.
11:30 is
Um
nothing. I'm a musician. We don't sleep until like 1 a.m. That's
that's
our
true.
our
That's
nine
true. Who was it?
p.m.
Your agent or someone was messaging me, or was it you? Someone was messaging me on Instagram and they were like, "Oh yeah, Calio will do it." I'm like, 11:30? Like that's impressive. So who is
That
that,
was
your
my
agent
manager.
or
That was my manager. Yeah, he
manager,
talked to
agent?
me. My manager. Yes, he. My manager is actually my father. Um,
Got
he,
it.
he he's trying to pass on the torch to a new manager as soon as we find one, but he's been managing me for the past few years now, and he's very familiar with my sleeping habits. So he was like,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Sorry, my cat likes to make cameos on the podcast, so
Aw, kitty.
yeah, yeah, she's 2.5 and she's like, this is the second episode in a row that she just makes cameos, so I apologize for that.
No, no, I love cats.
Yeah, I went on your
What's her name?
website and uh, all right, you're listed as alternative, EDM,
Yeah.
indie, pop, rock from Cincinnati
Yes.
to London
Yeah.
to Barcelona
Yeah.
to London.
Yeah.
I got to hear this. I do. I'm going to stop
Okay.
talking and I want to hear this.
Okay. So I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the young age of 0. Um, and I was raised in Cincinnati, Ohio throughout the majority of my life. I never moved. I was in the same house growing up all the way. My parents actually built the house that they live in. So I was in the same house my entire upbringing growing up. And around 19 or 20, I think it was no, no, actually, 22, 22. That's when I went to Barcelona for the first time to record the rest of my album because my producer and one of my guitarists and my band and a lot of people that I work with, they all work at this one studio called the Room 2 Studios in Barcelona. And I met them online on soundbetter.com because that's a website that a lot of artists go to find producers or singers or instrumentalists or whatever they need in terms of music that is local instead of or remote instead of in person. And I found Jason Boshoff, who's my producer, and his studio, Room 2 Studios, and I absolutely fell in love with them. They're amazing, they're wonderful, they're such amazing people. And between him and I don't even know how to describe him. One of my guitarists, one of my songwriting helpers, one of my favorite people, one of my family, Oscar Garcia Paragado. They both live in Barcelona, work at the studio. And so when I was 22, I was actually in Norway a couple weeks before, and I was with my partner at the time. And we took a train all the way from Norway, all the way down to Barcelona. And we took several stops along the way. And it was a very fun time. But we ended up in Barcelona because I need to finish my album. And so spent a couple weeks in Barcelona to finish the recording of my album, Language Barrier, which is now out everywhere, which is so exciting. And we went through this, process of not just recording the rest of the songs, but also going through the new songs that I have written and getting, photo shoots done and video shoots done and doing all of this different stuff. And I immediately fell in love with Barcelona like that. I've spent a whole lot of time in my life feeling kind of out of place or like I didn't belong anywhere. And as soon as I was in Barcelona, I felt at home immediately. And so for the last few years, the last couple of years, I've been trying my best to get back to Barcelona. And so even now I'm living in London. A few months ago, my main guitarist and I, my partner in crime, Max Shirley, we moved to London to around the Camden area to be over here so that we could get a lot of stuff done because we have a whole team in London and England who do a lot of work for us and everything, and then who we do a lot of work with, and there's a lot of shows that we can do around here and everything. But we're living here temporarily as we try to eventually get to Spain, or as I eventually try to get to Spain. Max is also on board with it, but I always say me because it's my dream. He can do whatever the hell he wants. So yeah, the short version is I've lived in Cincinnati for my whole life. I moved to London as a way to get to Barcelona eventually. And I've been to London before, I've been to England before, I've been to Barcelona, and eventually I want to live in Barcelona with the rest of my team who literally are the only reason that my music sounds as amazing as it does. Like I fully believe that no matter what ideas I have in my head, no matter how much people believe in me and love what I do, it would be nothing if I was doing it by myself. And the true bigger picture that becomes this amazing piece of art only exists because I work with other people who make my music what it's always been meant to be, which is a team effort. And I am done with my TED talk. Thank you so much for letting me talk.
No, no problem. The, the real question is, have you learned are you a football fan?
Absolutely. I've been a
Yeah,
football fan for a long time. And I know that here in America, so we're
soccer,
listeners from
but
America.
I know who I'm talking to area
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah. So football or soccer. I've been a huge soccer fan for my whole life and football fan, same word. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say soccer for
Well,
the sake of you.
I'm a Chelsea fan, which is based in London. So
Fair.
why are you Everton or someone like that?
Arsenal. Arsenal.
Arsenal. Okay, okay. So how far are you from the nearest football stadium?
Oh,
Because
I think
London, how many teams? There's like five. There's a lot of teams in London.
there's a lot of London teams because London is a huge city. Like I've when I first got here, we didn't have a flat yet. We were just hopping around Airbnbs, and so I've lived in like five different places in London already.
Wow.
I still haven't seen everything, but the only place I haven't lived is Central. But currently, where we're living, I think we're only like a 15-minute walk or something from the closest I'm the closest team. I
Hmm.
actually don't know which team we're closest to. We're living in Tottenham now, so it's
Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, yeah. But Arsenal's my team. I was told by one of my best friends back home in Cincinnati that if I didn't vote, if I didn't
Hmm.
vote, if I didn't root for Arsenal, he was going to be very disappointed in me, and
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. So I was like, oh, obviously.
I feel like when you're over there, it's like you feel, I mean, I haven't been over there, but I just can believe that if you're over there, they're like, all right, who's your team? You know, it's like a way of life out there.
I haven't been asked that many
No?
times, like how like who my team is or whatever. I think I think it's sort of like American politics like 5, 10 years ago, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I probably shouldn't ask, or we're gonna disagree for a long time. But I will say there was a man on the train recently when I was on the train. I was on the underground, and there's this man sitting at the very end of the train who had an Arsenal tattoo across his
Oh,
arm,
wow.
and I looked at him, and I just went. And he went, we
All
understood
right,
each
well
other.
that's not a bad team to follow. So talk about language barrier. When did that? You said it was not too long ago, right?
Yeah, Language Barrier. That's my album. It came out on March 6th of this year, so it's
Hmm.
only been out for a couple of months now. Um, and it's uh, as of yet my magnum opus. I mean, obviously I have more to say and more to do with my first album, but I'm very proud of it. It's the story of a situation I was going through when I was a bit younger of going through a relationship that I wasn't happy in, and going through a situation where I definitely deserved better, and the people around me wanted me to be happier, and wanted me to do better, and wanted the person who I was with to treat me better, and all of these emotions that come with all of that, and the process of me getting through that, and leaving that person, and finding my inner peace, and going through that grief of the relationship. So it's a concept album from start to finish. It tells a story, and it's a very emotionally intense album for me, at least. But I make it sound like it's very sad and like it's very emotional. I mean, there's certain
Hmm.
songs a bit more emotional, but for the most part, I'm sort of like joking with myself, where I'm saying one thing, but the music is saying another, you know?
Hmm. So we're talking about 334,000 views for Like Me. I want to talk about that one. So
Yeah.
is that kind of follow that similar, are all these songs to that similar concept where it's about what happened and what transpired in that um
Yeah.
time?
So so it's a concept album. So from start to
Yeah,
finish, it's telling a story.
right.
Um,
Okay.
but I will say, when it comes to Like Me specifically, that's actually the most, I would say, the most emotionally vulnerable song on the whole album. It's the first single that we released from the album, that I released from the album, and it's also the only one that had a music video on YouTube. And I worked with um, oh uh, Big Media Creative. That's their name. I worked with Big Media Creative for that one. They worked with 21 Pilots and such for several videos. They're very amazing.
Wow.
But Like Me is the first single that we released. Like I said, I released it on my mom's birthday, and it's about uh, how I go through all these emotions, these big, big, big emotions, and I'm overly dramatic, and I'm overly complex with the way that I describe things, and I'm always in my own head, and I know that I'm not going to feel this way forever, but right now it's all that I can imagine I've ever felt, and it's honestly a song about the mental health issues that I've gone through, the intensity that I felt. There's a line in the song about how if you feel manic, and you climb up the tree in front of you, then you'll be just like me. And it's about the bipolar issues that I've struggled with, and several other things that I've gone through, where I was really, really deeply struggling to communicate with the people around me what I was feeling, and all of these intense things. And honestly, even though it is about a specific mental health struggle that I've had. I feel like a lot of people can relate to it, even if they've been through other things, been through, depression or anxiety, or any sort of stressor at all. It's this feeling of I don't necessarily know what's wrong with me, but I know there's something, and I know
Mm,
that I don't know how to communicate it, and I hope that you can see me if I just tell you this is how it is to be like me.
yeah, and Crumbling is another one that I mean I liked them all, but that one really spoke to me too. Because it's like you tear me up, but then, you know, you're the one that tears me down
Right.
as well. And I've been in a couple situations like that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they be, you know, and then the hypocrisy and
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, but it's inspirational and you know to be vulnerable like that and you deserve credit for that.
Well, thank you.
And it's very well done.
Thank you. Crumbling was actually the first song that we finished for the album. We recorded it and finished it way before we finished anything else. But that's not the important bit, obviously. I wrote that. I started to write it when I was 16 or 17 about a partner that I had, but I didn't actually finish the song until I was a few years older. Um, because I'd been through situation and situation again. And so there's actually a line towards the end where it gets all overwhelming. So if you listen to the song, it like kind of follows the pop structure to a certain point, and then the
Hmm.
end is like super overwhelming. You can't really tell what's chorus and what's ad lib and
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like pretending everything's okay. You
Yeah,
know.
and there's just all these notes and melody lines and everything. It's just very overwhelming at the end, and that was intentional. I tried to make it overwhelming at the end because it was an overwhelming feeling of like coming to the end of this relationship, and the end where you suddenly realize this is it, like this is over, this was never healthy, this was not good, you didn't see me, I wasn't able to be myself and all this stuff. But there's a line towards the end where I say, "You think you're the first, you won't be the last. I know it's a pattern." Because when I first wrote the song, it was about the first time it's ever happened to me. And by the time that the
Right.
song was recorded, it had happened time and time and time again. And I remember the
Uh,
studio with my best friend, and they were taking photos of me, and they heard me sing that line for the first time, and they just stopped, just jaw dropped, looking at me like, that's a really good line. I'm so sad that no one was going to be able to hear it unless you tell them
yeah.
about it.
Yeah. So to the genres, is there one of those four that are mentioned that we mentioned earlier that speaks to you the most, or the reason why you do all those genres is because you like them all evenly? And you're like, oh well, I can't pick one, so I'll put them all into one formula.
I would say that for me, I don't have like a favorite genre that I write in. It's more that I just want each song to be what it's meant to be. And so if I write a song and it comes out as pop, that's great. If I write a song and it comes out as rock, that's fine. If I write a song and it comes out as singer-songwriter, awesome. If I
EDM's my jam too. I like EDM.
I get a lot of offers from DJs or producers that they make EDM, and so they go to me and they go, hey, I need a top line for this, I need a singer for this, and I go, okay, I'll write something for it.
Yeah,
uh, and I
because
love those songs. Those are the easiest for me because I can just listen to the whole thing and go, I know what to sing, and it's really fun. But I
yeah,
basically just I don't have a favorite genre. I just like to let the song serve itself. Whatever genre it's supposed to be, that's what I want it to be.
I feel like EDM is getting more and more popular, but at the same time, it's still underrated. Like
Oh,
for
absolutely.
me, there's no like I'm a rocker. When I was younger, I got into rock music, but when got in my 20s, my buddy introduced me to EDM and I was just like hooked. Like it's crazy how like you get I mean, you don't have to get like a drink, but if you get like a drink and you stand like next to like the bass and the treble and you zone the fuck out, it's there's like no
I think
other
there's something stronger.
there's no other like feeling like it where you're just like and the DJ just go boom boom and you're just like zoning out half drunk.
Absolutely. A drink or something stronger, to be honest. EDM is best enjoyed when you are not present.
Yeah, you're
But
just chilling the fuck out. Yeah, like
yeah, but I agree completely. EDM is amazing. It's wonderful. It always kind of it irks me when people say like, "Oh, I like music that's like not just noise," because all of music is noise. I remember one of my best friends said, I don't like that because it's just noise." And I went, "All music is noise." And she went, "Oh, dang it, you're right." And it was just so silly. But yeah, I completely agree. EDM is it's a beautiful genre. It's fascinating. I mean, the criticism that it gets only comes from, people who don't understand the criticism that all genres get of, oh, well, some of the songs are bad. Of course, some of the songs are bad because so many
mm-hmm.
people are making music and so many people are putting music out, and some people don't have that heart and that passion in it. But EDM has a lot of songs
Mm-hmm.
that are very moving and very meaningful, and a lot of my favorite songs are part of the electronic genre.
Yeah. Um, do you have any specific like EDM artists that like you're into? Like for me, um, I like more like I mean, of course, everyone's heard of Skrillex and Marshmello, but I'm
Yeah.
into like have you ever heard of San Holo?
Yes,
He is
yes.
so awesome. I just like
Well,
zoned out to
absolutely.
like what was it BB you okay? And then like just like just like it's usually the like three or four bars and then the rest is just um
Yeah.
you know bass.
Yeah, I completely agree, first of all. But yeah, Enzo is a big one for me. I know it's like super basic, but Enzo is huge for me. There's another one. I think his name's Andrew Bates. Is it Andrew Bates? Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, Marshmallow is pretty cool too, even though he's so
Well, there's
like
nothing there's nothing wrong with mainstream.
no, there's a reason why he's mainstream is because
Yeah.
there's a reason. Nothing wrong with
Yes,
it, but I'm just saying
I completely
I
agree.
kind
I
of
mean,
like the underground people too.
yeah, I do
But San
too.
Holo's not underground. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that are kind of not like mainstream.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm trying to find who it is. I
Because
think
there's
I'll
people that
find
know who Marshmallow is, but then they don't know who San Holo is.
it. Well, of course, Marshmallow is huge. I mean, obviously, I'm a little Andrew Bayer. That's his name, Andrew Bayer. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love Andrew Bayer. I love Enzo, Basic Answer. I mean, obviously, I'm a little biased towards Deadmau5 because
Dead Mouse. Yeah. Oh, of
I worked
course. I
with
should have remembered
his
them.
label at one. I mean, I made a song with under his label at one point, so I'm kind of obligated to
Hmm.
say I like Dead Mouse, but but yeah, I like a lot of different EDM. It's honestly hard to say all the different artists that I like. Starseed, very underground, but chronically underrated.
Yeah.
Starseed, I've worked with them a couple of times. They're absolutely fucking amazing. Them and Alex Stark are two people
Okay.
that I've
I'll have to check them out. I've never talked to somebody that's from or that's lives in London. So can you tell me what's the London scene like? Like what's the vibe like? Are they rock heavy? Are they like is it a bunch of different sounds?
So the thing about London is that there's a million different people in the city who want to be musicians. So,
There's a
um,
big underground scene, is what you're
oh
saying.
yeah, there's a huge amount of musicians here. There's a huge amount of people who have never been heard of, and they deserve to be. And it's a beautiful place in so many ways. It's a heartbreaking place in so many ways. But I would say that, there's a lot of singer-songwriters, there's a lot of EDM, there's a lot of rock, there's a lot of pop, there's everything. There's everything
Basically
here.
everything that you do that basically your songs are like where it's at in London.
Yes. I mean, well, I would hope that, people around here like my music because I'm here to stay for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it every genre, every genre, um every kind of music that you can imagine. Like there's so many different types of people just trying to do their best here and trying to make their mark here, and it's beautiful and it's inspiring and it's heartbreaking and it's wonderful, and London is you cannot even fathom how big London is. Like whatever the big
I wanna go
city
over there
there
and
is.
watch a football game.
I'm supposed to go to a football match with one of my friends pretty soon here. He's a Coventry guy, so totally different, but
Yeah.
um it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. But yeah, London is a huge city, so there's all kinds of music here. There's all kinds of art. It's colossal. Like imagine the biggest city that you can and then double it. That's London.
So like triple Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like literally, I thought that Cincinnati was a fairly large city, and then I moved here and I realized that when
Were
I
you
was
in
in
like the suburbs of Cincy or were you like in the downtown area?
I was about 15 to 20 minutes from the city where I
Yeah.
live.
So the
But I spent a
Bengals, so the
yeah, but I
Bengals
spent a
NFL.
lot of time, but I spent a lot of time in the city because I had a lot of friends who lived in Clifton or
Hmm.
Northside or wherever within the city. So also I went to SCPA, which is downtown. It's a School for Creative and Performing Arts for high school.
Oh, why am I not surprised? That's how you became so good. I got it.
I well,
I got it.
debatably.
Yeah, I hear you. I do appreciate the humility, but
Thank you.
you are very talented.
Thank you.
So what kind of venues do you play at? Are we talking about like underground bars, like main stages?
Honestly, I've played everything from an acoustic set with, five people listening at a cafe to, Fountain Square in Cincinnati, like the main square where, hundreds of people are walking by. I
Hmm.
played a residency at Cedar Point where, I was on the beach and lots of people were walking by and listening, as the days went on. I've been on huge stages, I've been on small stages, I've done everything, but ultimately, I'd love to be on the bigger stages more often than not. I'm playing the Altascape Festival in Brighton pretty soon, so
Wow.
that'll be pretty exciting.
Hmm.
But yeah, I played pretty much all the stages except for like, huge stadiums like Riverbend or something.
What, so what's the goal here? To be like a mega star, like sell out stadium? Like, is that what we're talking? Is that the goal here, or is the goal just the kind of like you're okay with what you're at now? You know what I'm saying? Or like, is the goal to be like a mega superstar? What's the?
You know, my goal isn't, a certain level of fame or a certain level of money or anything like that. It's I want as many people as possible to hear the songs that I've written so that anybody who relates to them, anyone who feels seen or heard by them, feels a little bit less alone and feels a little bit less like they're the only person in the world who feels that way. Because for a very long time in my life, I felt completely alone. I felt like no matter what I said or no matter what I did, nobody could really understand what it was I was going through
Mhm.
because I have gone through a lot of things that not everybody does. And so, you know, would I love to perform at Riverbend, like I said before? Would I love to perform at Glastonbury or Coachella?
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously, that would be wonderful, but only if
Coachella,
all
I
the
could see it.
people, thank you, but only if all the people who are there to see me feel the way that I feel and feel more seen because of it. Only if it's giving something back to them, not as a result of, oh, I made a cool song and everyone remembers the chorus, but like,
Hmm. Yeah.
have I made a difference? Have I earned my spot there? Because if I haven't earned my spot there, then I don't want to be there. I don't want to just sing because, I wrote something and someone paid for me to be there. I don't want to be someone who's part of a label that pushes out all my songs, but I have nothing new to say. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that kind of music, of course,
Of
but that's not
course.
what I want to do. I want people to hear my music, and if they feel like, I suddenly have created this situation for them where this song hits a
Hmm.
part of their heart that they hadn't felt before, then that's great. If all the people in the studio, if all the people in the room, if all the people in the stage, if all the people in the stadium feel that
Hmm.
way, then I've done something right. But otherwise, I don't deserve to be there. So I would love to perform to huge stadiums, but I have to earn my way there,
I hear.
one song at a time, one performance at a time.
When did you first start realizing that you were getting like traction? Like people were like watching and viewing and you're like, all right, something's going on here where I'm getting like downloads and stuff.
That's a good question. I actually don't remember.
It just
I,
happened like organically.
yeah, I guess, because for the last however many years I've been doing, fresh out of high school, I've been recording music and putting it out, and it started out a bit slow, but then very quickly it wasn't anymore, and people started paying attention, and now that I'm here, I mean, I have however many streams, however many followers. I don't look at the success that I've had in terms of the people that are looking at me, like the numbers of people that are
Hmm.
looking at me. I think of it in terms of, how happy am I with what I've made, and, how many people have reached out to me and said, I feel more seen because of this. I mean, I keep going back to this. It sounds awfully
Oh,
pretentious,
no, no,
but
no.
like the comments that I get and the people that come up to me after shows and like the little girls who come up and ask if they can play my piano and I show them how to play a chord or
Hmm.
something, that's how I measure like my satisfaction with each moment that I'm in. And so I don't actually, I mean, I remember certain points. I remember when, my father told me, hey, you just hit this number of streams, or hey, you have
Hmm.
a number one song on iTunes in South Africa, or hey, you are able to work with this person now because of this thing. But I don't remember what day it was. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were because I don't really, there's no point in focusing on that. The point is focusing on what people say to me, the things that I'm told in response to the music that I make, the things my best friend has to say, the things that
Right, the
people say
people
they
that.
talk to me after shows. Like
Hmm.
human connection is where I find my satisfaction from it all. So I don't actually know. I think it was very early on that
Listen,
I started
you
gaining traction.
you work your ass off, so you can you deserve, credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate
Um,
it.
so do you have any like good like stories or memories of when you first started? Like any good stories about when you know what I'm saying? Like a first venue or
I mean, I have a lot of stories. I guess the story of how I started it all is pretty interesting. I graduated high school a year early, not because I'm
hmm.
smart, just purely out of spite. Like I wasn't like
No,
some
no,
sort of
no. It was because you were smart. It was because you were
uh,
smart.
I'm not some sort of genius. I just hated school so much that I went to my counselor every single day and I went, how do I graduate now? How do I graduate now? How do I graduate now as a junior until she made me a senior.
Oh,
Um,
really?
like she put all the classes in my schedule, told me what I needed to do so that I could
Yeah.
graduate that year. But I literally just like badgered her until she would let me out of the school because I hated
Wow.
it so much. Um,
You are
but
not
I
leaving this room until
exactly. But yeah, so I graduated a year early and I hadn't applied to any colleges because I'm ridiculous. And my father, who's my manager, came to me and said, hey, either you can go to college,
hmm.
support you, do whatever you need to do there, do whatever you want, become whoever you want, or take a year off and I will fund the whole thing and
Wow.
you'll a year to figure out whether you can do this or not. And if it works out and things start to build up and traction starts to happen within a year, we can keep doing that. And then you'll be what you've always wanted to be since you were literally able to speak. Um, because I used to sing before I spoke when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Or it doesn't work out and that's fine and we tried and you can go be something else and that's okay. Like it's okay, whatever you want to do. I support you. I love you. I'm here for you because I have the best parents in the world. Um, and so I took that offer because that would be really dumb of me not to. And I started releasing music, and my father was my manager, and we, started a record label together, so that I could have rights and ownership over my music.
Right,
And
sure.
after a year, things were working out pretty well. So we kept doing that. Um, and actually, it was this is another thing, very briefly. The first song that I ever recorded and released was Breathe Away. And the person who produced that was one of the producers on Complicated by Avril Lavigne. So
Wow.
starting, I was pretty fortunate that I got to work with people just through, connections
I
and
could see the
just through searching.
I could see similarities. I mean,
Yeah.
she's um like do you have artists that like you think like are like the greatest ever? Like do you have inspirations?
Oh my God, I have inspirations. Oh my God, every artist has inspirations. So many. My more modern examples are Paris or Calandra or Ariana Grande or Sabrina Carpenter or um Sophia Isela or oh, there's another one that's on the tip of my tongue. Can't remember. Um, Maddie Eatrich is another one. She's more underground, but I love her. But in terms of longer term, I mean, my dad started making playlists for me when I was a kid to catch me up on all the music I missed while I was busy not being born yet. So I got caught up on, the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, um, all of the really, really popular artists from, 20, 50, 100 years ago. Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra, Bobby Darin, uh, all kinds of musicians, all kinds of artists. The first concert I ever went to was Tom Petty when I was like
Yeah, I
4.
love Tom Petty.
Love Tom Petty. That was the first concert I
Yeah.
ever went to. I was
And
a
the
very,
Heartbreakers.
yeah,
Free Fallin's one of my favorites.
it's a great song.
It is.
Um, I get inspiration from all kinds of things. I mean, my mom also, she would, play all these kinds of classical pieces for me and she loved pop music. So when I was in piano classes, I was learning all the stuff that my mom liked to listen to. And then when we were going back and forth to school, I would listen to all the pop music. So I got a really good picture of all of music, minus country for the most part, from both of my parents, just based off of the playlist that my dad made and the CDs and radio that my mom listened to, which I feel like really explains how I write songs now. Of just like I don't have a genre, I just kind of write
Yeah.
whatever because any song can be anything. It just depends on what you're trying to make, what you're trying to say.
Yeah, an artist, I could see a comparison to kind of an older artist, but she's not like that old, but she's been around a while. Pink.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, love Pink.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
My
She didn't
best
really
friend
have a
went
box. She just would play whatever, came to her.
Yeah, my best friend went to a Pink concert recently and said that the vibes that she gave off were very similar to mine because she just got
Exactly. That's
distracted
what
so many times and was just joking with the audience and playing games and
Avril
stuff.
Lavigne, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Haley Williams from Paramore. I mean, they're all,
I love Haley Williams. She's an amazing singer. One of my favorite songs
yeah,
ever, Flames. So,
yeah. All right. Well, any anything you want to promote, or is there anything? I know you released it a couple months ago, but do you already have, are you one of those that just on to the next, or like do you have things already lined up?
I mean, I am working on new music right now. It's not ready yet, but in terms of promotion, listen to Language Barrier. It's available everywhere. Just look up my name, Catlea, Catlea. Um,
Yeah.
if you want to follow me on anything, it's Catlea Creates, CatleaCreates. That's everything. If you want to, listen to my music, Catlea. If you want to figure out who I am as a person, Catlea Creates. That's generally the vibe. Um,
Hmm.
and that's all. Thank you so much for having me. This has been lovely.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the podcast, especially at this this time. And all the best, okay?
Yeah, thank you again for letting me yap while a little bit tipsy. This has been
No,
great.
no problem, no problem. Have a good one.
You too.
All
You
right,
too.
bye.